Shazam!
This is a Marvel movie. I'm just saying. Just putting it out.
You know what? Yeah, like my mind is New York right now, innit? Because I'm just thinking of all the Shazam stuff I'm about to get. Fam, that man can't get here. I'm about to Shazam OD.
The movie's gonna be shit though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Are you upset that The Rock's in it?
No. I'm actually taking that in a positive way. Because I already told you, all I'm thinking is sales, so I can get more content. Like, I'm not thinking of short game, fam. I'm looking long term, you know what I'm saying? The Rock brings money. By all means, more comics for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's more, like toys, all of that, bro. That man don't actually have. I have to pay 50 quid for your pop.
Nah, let me just throw this.
Mad,
in. Nah, let me just throw this in there. Yeah, where you're talking about The Rock does more sales. The Rock does. That makes sense. But it's with Warner Brothers and DC. When The Rock's doing his own, he can make billions. So like why? Like man, do you know man announced he was Black Adam 4 years ago.
Yeah. I thought it was like 2 or something.
Yeah, there was.
It's
like,
mad.
It was he was like he's supposed to like do a Black Adam, and then he would also do a Shazam.
He might not even be in the movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how long?
Hey, look, let's do the review, fam. This is all nerd about this stuff, fam. This is mad right now.
We are live. Raven, the GS, Joe, 1/3 of the South. Sam, the mission behind the picture.
Director Fury, I think it's time.
Here with a mission, sir? Trying to get me back in the world?
Trying to save it.
Doctor, we need you to come in.
What if I say no?
I'll persuade you.
What are you asking me to do? I thought I didn't qualify. Apparently I'm, what is it? Volatile, self-obsessed, and don't play well with others.
This is nothing we were ever trained for.
We are live. Guys, what is good?
What's going on, Sam? I'm over here laughing because it's just too much of you, man.
I'm Joe, 1/3 of the Cyber Nerds.
Man, no one cares about you. I'm Raven, your GS.
I'm Sam, Mr. Blitz Tech.
And this is week 6 of our countdown for Marvel's Infinity War. Martin! So, gents, what are we talking about today? What's in week 6?
We're talking about Avengers.
The Avengers.
The Avengers. Avengers Assemble.
Like,
I think is the actual title.
Yeah.
Avengers Assemble, yeah.
They've assembled together.
Directed by Josh Whedon. Produced by Kevin Feige, you know.
Big. We just like literally finished watching this movie like
4 seconds ago.
Yeah. And this movie's just named.
Do you know what's mad, yeah? Like, I'm not see, look,
like, go on, do
I
it.
was like,
do it.
I was trying to hold back much, yeah.
Do it.
But
Let them have it.
Watching this movie, like, listen, DC fanboys, whatever. If you think we're Marvel fanboys, whatever, jump in the comment section, fam. But watching this movie, I don't understand how in 2012, Marvel, Disney, Josh Whedon, Kevin Feige, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, what's his name? Mark Ruffalo. Who am I missing out? What's the new? Jeremy Renner.
I forgot.
Samuel L. Jackson. And I'm so sorry for forgetting the lady from How I Met Your Mother. I'm so sorry for forgetting.
Oh, you just said a name a second ago as well.
I did say it. And Tom Hiddleston as well. Listen, how did you guys go into a laboratory and produce this in 2012? And how in 2017 can DC not even make one cohesive movie? Like, watching this movie, I'm filled with joy. And I'm also filled with rage. Because I don't understand why Justice League was so bad. Like,
you know,
Justice League in my mind has got worse and worse every day I get further away from the movie.
You know what? You just can't help like watching these movies as we go through these Marvel movies, and you just can't help it. Like, how did DC get it so wrong. Like, you just can't help it.
They follow. That's it.
You just can't help it. Like, yo, fam, like, why? I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking about how bad DC is doing right now.
This movie came out 5 years ago, or 6 years ago now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Days.
And the next thing about it is, listen, guys, I'm so sorry. I know you didn't come here to hear us rant about DC, yeah? But, like...
That's a lie. People always come to see you rant, fam. Like, you rant every week, fam. What are you talking about? Like, every week, Joe's talking about DC, fam. Then we get dragged into the, you know, DC haters and all sorts.
The thing is, I love DC. I love DC with all my heart, yeah? But the thing is, before I was like, oh, let's not compare Marvel and DC. It doesn't make sense. They're doing two different things. But do you know what? You have to compare, yeah? Just like you compare Nike and Reebok. Because you're in the same industry, yeah? I don't think people should hate DC or hate Marvel if you like one or the other. I don't believe in that, yeah? But you should look at the things and be like, why is this like this? And why is this like this? Anyway, let's get to our 5-minute review of Avengers.
And before anyone calls me a DC hater, shout out to DC, I just got my Batman Gotham Gaslight.
Can I get the digital code, please?
Martin!
I see how you try to not...
Fam, yeah,
exactly.
let me get that 50%, yeah? Because man just keeps sucking them codes, fam. Like,
you keep buying the movies, so I'm going to keep taking the codes, fam.
But anyway, let's jump into this.
Wait. Guys, if you've got some digital codes, send them to me as well. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, 5-minute review. Alright, cool.
Joey 1/3, aka Digital Code Man.
More names, more titles.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. So, where do we want to start with this movie?
Alright.
I don't even think there's like any negatives. We should just go straight into the greatness of this movie.
See, I was just going to give this movie 30 seconds. That's all I've got to say. This is top 3 best comic book movies of all time. Hands down, I would give this movie a 10 out of 10. Great directing, great acting, great humour, great tone, great everything.
Who do you have on top of that? Just quickly.
My top 3, real quick. Dark Knight, Logan, Avengers. That's not in order. That's just them 3.
Cool. Alright, cool. Mr. Ballistic, like, your thoughts on this movie?
Thoughts on this movie? So it's called Avengers Assemble, and it does that perfectly. You get Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye,
Black Widow,
that's what I say. Black Widow, Nick Fury, all in one movie, and they all get the perfect screen time. Don't know how they did it perfectly, but everyone does all their roles well. Like, even in the separate movies, some people miss the mark, some people don't do it so well. But here, you see them like mesh well together, fall apart, come back together. They're like cameo scenes going in, weaving in and out. The action scenes are just all over the gaff, done perfectly well, mate.
Like, as you were saying the names, I started laughing because I'm like, there's just so many great characters that man can easily get lost because you can't just forget one character or two, like, but you can just say a name and be like, think about a specific scene with that character.
There you go.
And one thing that you just mentioned about weaving in, I'm about to, I don't know, do something right now.
Go ahead.
The camera work, phenomenal in this movie. Like, this is the best, like, one of the best camera works when it comes to, like, teamwork. Like, the transition is just so smooth. Like, you go from a duo to another duo to another duo, then you go into a singles, then another singles, then you got Captain America doing the Captain America thing, and you're just like, fam, like, you just cannot get enough of this movie. Like, action in and out, even when they're just talking among themselves, that even not the non-action scenes are just perfect. So
that's what I was about to say. I was about to jump on Joss Whedon. Like, Joss Whedon knows how to bring a collection of people together. Straight after the movie, I asked you, who do you think gets the most screen time? And you guys said, probably Robert Downey Jr. And he probably did, but this movie is so good, it doesn't feel like he does. I was trying to ask myself, who is the main character of the Avengers? Do you know who the main character is? The Avengers. Everyone gets the correct screen time. They spend the right amount of time together. The banter. Listen, I love the dialogue in this movie. I love how people taking shots at each other. I love them working together. I love them spreading them apart. Like, action 10 out, like, it's 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10.
Do you know what I like in this movie, but I don't like in the other movies?
Low-key. I knew you was going to say that. This is his best movie.
So good. So good. Like, we're watching this movie, we're like, Loki's really, really good. Like, the way he just comes through and he just dominates everything that he wants to do. Even when he feels like he's losing the grip of it, man still embraces everything. Like, so, it's just mad, like how they've just directed this movie, pulled all the strings together, told the story. Man, Banner, I love Banner. I love Banner here, man. What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Like
favorite character in this
like
movie?
in this movie, like
it's easy. It's got to be Hulk, though.
I was going to say Hulk. Yeah, Hulk just decimates it.
I think the reason it's Hulk is because we've got the least from him up until this point. Even though he has his own movie, like people don't really include that in this cinema. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you think of the Hulk, people always think the first time they saw Hulk was in Avengers, and I understand why, because Mark Ruffalo reinvigorates the character in this. He's just sick. It's got to be the Hulk. Even though I love it, everyone like Hulk is standout for sure.
The most epic scene for you guys.
Most epic scene is them in a circle. When Iron Man lands, hero shot, boom.
And then the trumpet starts playing the music. Come on now, there's like it doesn't get better than that. Like,
I'm gonna have to get with Loki gets slapped up by a Hulk.
Puny God.
Oh no! No, but there's so many scenes. Like I could just stay here forever, just talk about.
Yeah, some honourable mentions. I'm always angry where Hulk punches the thing.
Amazing.
The part where Captain Thor tries to hit Captain America and he uses the shield. The part where Hulk punches Thor and he goes out. Come on, man. This movie is just littered with gems, man. We've got what 10 seconds, 12 like 10 seconds left.
Okay.
If you haven't bought this on Blu-ray, what are you doing?
Have you even watched it? What are you doing?
3.
Buy the movie.
Watch the movie.
Done.
Yo.
This movie is hella fun.
Yeah. This greatest comic book movie of all time. Like if you say you like comic books or comic book movies, or if you say you're in this genre and if you don't own this movie, I'm not talking about having a Netflix subscription and being able to just watch it whenever you want. I'm talking about if you do not physically own this, there is something wrong with you. Something wrong with you.
I got to agree with that. And you don't even need to be into comic books. You can, because you get so much with these characters, so much backstory with them that you can actually not know anything about them. Come in, enjoy the movie, and by the end of it, you end up having your favorite character or your favorite duo as well. Favorite duos?
I think it's Hulk and Thor. Like the fight and then the whole chemistry they got going on is just hilarious.
I feel like I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go with Hawkeye and Black Widow. The reason why, is because them two are the only ones that have a history together, and it gets alluded to in this movie. And I remember originally watching this movie and being like, I want to know what happened in Budapest or whatever. But there's no other duo that you think, like, I want to know more about them two together. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I would go with them.
Cool. What about you?
I'm with Thor and Hulk, man.
Cool.
Even though, like, Thor at this time is just, it still gets under my skin every now and again, like, gets on my nerves. But I think it's just Banner. Like,
that's it,
you know what I'm saying? Like, 90% is Banner, and then the other 10 is just Thor. Like, whenever he does something good, I'm like, alright, cool, Thor's coming through. But other than that, mainly it's Banner. Like, Banner's just holding it down. Alright, cool, guys. Well, what is your single or what is your duo team? Alright, let us know in the comment section below. And this is our week 6. I get lost with this. And make sure you jump on our Patreon, support us, and anything else. Am I missing, guys?
I think, what's next week?
Iron Man 3.
No. Black Panthers next week, baby. Anyway.
Yeah. Skipping the queue and that.
Get me, you know.
Well, are you calling in sick?
I'm Joe, 1/3 of the Cyber Nerds.
And I'm Raven, your GS.
I'm Sam, Mr. Blitztech.
And we'll see you next week for another Marvel countdown to Infinity War.
Woo!
Shut it down, Joe.
Peace.
Easy.